going to have a look at the Kiwitech MicroTrough. So the MicroTrough is a really cool trough. Well, firstly, it's got comes with a spike. You simply hammer into the base. The thing about the spike is it means that on slopes or with animals that like to push troughs around, this one gets a really good fixing when it's in the ground. So it's not gonna fall over, be pushed away on slopes. It's pretty much bomb proof, so nothing's going to break it. It's very light, so it's easy to move around. It's very small, so that there's less chance of animals dunging in the trough and it getting contaminated. It's pretty affordable, and with enough water pressure will easily water 50 adult cattle. So really good trough for the right situation. Cool things to bear in mind. Firstly, because the valve for the trough sits below the water line, it's not recommended or not permitted for use with mains water systems. If you use it with mains, you need to have an air gap in the system, so that could be a header tank, which is filled with a ball valve, and that provides the air gap. But it's not recommended, not allowed for use with direct supplies, because of the risk of flow back due to sudden pressure loss through the valve. Private supplies and the like is considered fine. So that's the first thing. The second is not for use with sheep or lambs or young calves. So that's really calves below kind of 100 kilos. That's probably sort of three months of age. Simply because they don't have enough force, enough strength to push down on the plate in order for the bowl to fill. Any concerns? Obviously, the first thing is just to try it with the animals. But great success with any cattle over sort of 3 months of age. It really is a good trough. So when you first get the trough, well, the spike is going to need to be driven into this hole. Place this somewhere firm. Drive the end with a hammer, and it's going to go in about an inch, maybe 1.5 inches into the base of the trough. The second thing is to check that the fitting is tight. So tighten both ends, and then also turn this clockwise so that the valve itself, the hydrant fitting, is tight in the base of the trough. The valve that's in here and the cone, the collet and the O-ring that make up this assembly are the same as the hydrants. So if you're interested in how this works, go back and watch one of the earlier videos on the Kiwitech hydrant. The fittings are exactly the same, which is good. So now you're going to want to insert a pipe into this end. This is only going to be used with 25mm pipe. It might be a low density pipe or a medium density polyethylene or ethylene pipe, and there's going to be two ways to connect it. You may want to put this trough on the end of a lateral pipe. Okay, and you're going to move both the trough and the pipe. You're going to drag around the field to water the cattle. Alternatively, you may have a lateral such as this one, and along the lateral you've installed your hydrants, and so you're going to simply use this trough with a short length of lead to connect to the hydrants as you work your way down the block of ground. Either way, the connection is the same. We want a pipe with a square end and with no burrs on the pipe itself. So in this case, this has been used before. I'm just going to snip off this end like so. Okay. If I put my finger inside the fitting and have a little search around, I'll find that there's 3 lugs inside the fitting. Okay, I don't want to push my pipe past those lugs, and they sit about in line with that moulding mark. So it's about 2 inches inside the fitting. So when I get my pipe, just push it in the ground, just hold it still. I get my pipe about 2 inches. I don't want to put it any further than that. So I'm going to push the pipe in, and it's going to go through the collet, and then it's going to go through the O-rings. The O-ring's a bit stiff, So I may just want to just push it into the ground for a bit more support. Okay, and that's as far as I need to go. I'm just going to check that I haven't gone too far by pushing down on the plate. If the pipe had gone in too far, the valve wouldn't be able to open and the plate wouldn't go up and down. So that's in the right place. I can make a small turn to the right. It's just a small turn. Put the foot on the stem of the trough, and I'm going to pull back. And as I pull back, you see I'm doing a bit of a circular motion. Give it a bit of a wriggle, and you see the collet now is starting to grip that pipe. Okay, so that's what I need to do for a minute. Just get it started. I'm now going to connect this pipe to a water supply, because the water pressure is going to help me make a really good connection here. So I'm just going to stand the trough up. Come and grab the end of my trough lead and plug into my hydrant. So my hydrant, the sequence for connecting is foot on the lateral, both hands on the lead, push all the way in, small turn to the right and pull back. Okay, that's a good connection there. I'm going to need to prime the trough, so I'm going to push down on the plate. That's released the air. I'm just going to hold that down, just let all the air bubbles come out, and then release that plate. So now by releasing the plate, this is all under pressure, and because it's under pressure, I'm going to find it a lot easier to get a good fixing on my pipe. So if I just flip it over, put the end in the ground, now pull back, holding the trough in one hand, the pipe lead in the other, bit of a circular motion as I pull back, and we'll see the collet is getting a really firm grip on the pipe and making a really good seal, and the water pressure is helping that to happen. Okay, I'll make sure my fitting is still tight. That's what we're looking for. That collet's now got a really good grip on the pipe, and that's now not going to be released. So I'm going to position my trough. So I'm push it all the way into the ground, and for the first time, if the cattle haven't seen this before, I'm going to prime the trough. So I'm going to let the trough fill up to there. Okay, this is how we train the animals. So obviously they'll be looking for water at some point in the day. They'll find water, and as they go to drink, the trough keeps filling, and they drink the water as it fills. When using it for animals for the first time, it's worth coming back after a couple of hours, just check they found the trough and they're using it. When you're placing the trough, make sure the trough is placed level, and see if you can arrange the lead so that the lead is flat on the floor.